Greetings, everyone. Welcome to our on-demand webinar that will be taking a look inside the IM version 360 curriculum update for high school. Whether this is your first time viewing one of our webinars, or whether you've joined us in the past, we want to thank you for taking the time to engage with us. My name is Ryan Mora, Senior Manager of Professional Learning Events at Illustrative Mathematics, and I'm joined today in hosting this webinar by...
Hi, everyone. My name is Catherine Castillo, and I am on the implementation team here at IM as an implementation specialist. Today, we will cover these three big stories. If you attended the K-8 IM 360 webinar last year, a lot of what you see today will be familiar to you. These three big stories will address high school updates. The focus of this webinar is IM version 360, the newest version of IM K-12 Math. Builds on the foundation of our highly rated curricula, maintaining the core tenets of IM standards-aligned instruction and features while incorporating new additions and enhancements. We recently released version 360 of our curricula for grades K through 8, the 2024-25 school year. If you haven't viewed it already, we hosted a Q&A webinar with the curricula authors in April of 2024, and that, along with all our webinar recordings, is available at illustrativemathematics.org.
Our group of presenters that will walk us through these high school curriculum updates includes 3 members of the product development team. I'll let each of them introduce themselves and then let them take it away.
Hi, my name is Ashley Black, and I'm the Director of 612 Curriculum here at IM.
Hi, I'm Emily Logan, and I am a 612 Professional Learning Specialist here at IM.
And I am Tina Cardone. I'm a specialist on the 912 content team.
Our first big story is that IM version 360 is not a brand new curriculum. It's a version update. Ray Ross, our Director of Client Support, tells educators to think of it more as an evolution based on feedback, not a radical rethink. If you're familiar with the prior version, you're going to recognize a lot in this version. With that in mind, I invite you to pause and ground yourself in what's staying the same. The core remains unchanged. Problem-based learning and student collaboration are still at the heart of our curriculum. Lessons continue to follow the same familiar structure: warm-up, activities, lesson synthesis, cool-down. The overall design structure of invitation, deep study, and consolidating is the same within a course, unit, and lesson. You'll also find continued support for students with disabilities, math language routines, and other key features to help all learners succeed. Moving from what's the same to some changes that span all grades. In version 360, you'll find that the course guide has been reorganized, clarified, and simplified to help teachers more easily find the information they need, be it about math language routines, looking for the dependency chart, or wanting to read more about some key structures in the course. Another change is the renaming of a familiar routine. Which one doesn't belong is now which 3 go together. This change came directly from teacher feedback. At IM, we want every student to feel like they belong in the math classroom. The previous name could unintentionally suggest exclusion, especially since belonging can carry strong personal associations. An important aspect of the routine is on noticing differences and similarities, including why all 4 items are part of a group. This routine still gives students opportunities to identify and name specific characteristics, which help them develop their mathematical language skills, but now with a name and framing that better reflects our values of inclusion and belonging for all learners. The 5 practices for orchestrating productive mathematical discussions is another routine that saw updates across the course. Each 5 practices activity was revised to clarify what to monitor for, give ideas on how to sequence, and make more explicit the connections that should be made between student thinking and lesson goals. Zooming in just a bit to highlight a few notable course-level updates. In Algebra 1, we heard that Unit 2 felt too long and that students were getting stuck. So we split it into 2 parts, one focused on linear equations and another on linear inequalities, with 2 variable statistics placed in between. So now, Unit 2 focuses on defining linear functions, solving and rearranging equations, modeling with slope and intercepts, and working with systems of equations. Moving to Unit 3, this offers a different lens on modeling with linear relationships. Student focus shifts to fitting lines with data without the same pressure to solve for x. This lets students build on their Unit 2 understanding of key concepts like slope and the vertical intercept in different contexts. Unit 4 is now an opportunity to revisit earlier skills, working with solving equations and systems, but now doing so with inequalities. This gives students more time to reach proficiency with these skills that can need more attention. In geometry, we clarified the progression towards formal proofs in Units 1 and 2. Feedback told us we needed to better communicate the intended level of rigor and formality in each lesson. The goal in these units is to support students in gradually building towards formal triangle congruence proofs using rigid motions. In Algebra 2, the changes were more minimal. We split Unit 2, which originally combined polynomials and rational functions, into 2 separate units for clarity. We also heard the ask for more work transforming a variety of function types, and added a set of lessons to Unit 6 to do so, including an optional lesson on transforming circles. While many of the other changes were small compared to these more noticeable shifts, every lesson was touched in all 3 courses to improve the overall student and teacher experiences, with clearer narratives and a more focused progression throughout.
Big story number 2 is better alignment across PK-12. Within 9-12, we received feedback highlighting 2 key areas where revisions would be specifically helpful: narratives and cool-down guidance. Let's take a closer look at what those updates involve and how they support teachers and students. Throughout IM360, you'll notice strengthened and in some cases newly added narratives, including section narratives. We heard your feedback and worked to make all narratives clearer and more concise. At the start of the year, I encourage you to read the unit narratives. These provide a big picture view of the course and will help you understand the arc across the units. Before beginning a new unit, I encourage you to take time to read the section narratives. These clarify the arc of the unit. Finally, as you are planning daily lessons, the lesson narratives offer insight into the learning goals for the day and how they fit into the broader progression. Together, these narratives give teacher a clearer vision of what to focus on and what to expect from students at the lesson, section, unit, and course level. The cool-down guidance is now embedded directly into materials, not just a digital offering. We received a lot of feedback that the previous guidance was helpful, but having it in a separate document made it harder to use. Now you'll find the same 3 tiers of guidance built in: more chances, points to emphasize, and press pause. You'll also see suggestions of how to support students if many struggle with the cool-down. Finally, there's guidance on where to find additional support for continuing to develop the concepts students are working on. There are a few new features in 9-12 IM Math 360 that we are eager to share with you. Some of these components are in the K-5 materials and have now been added to the 9-12 materials for better coherence between the grades. We'll take a deeper dive into each of these areas shortly, but this slide gives you a quick overview of the exciting new features in 9-12 IM 360 for our problem-based curriculum. We listened to your feedback and focused on strengthening support at the section level. We also put more emphasis on developing a strong mathematical classroom community. And finally, we embedded more math language routines directly into activities, helping reduce teacher prep time. So let's dig in and learn more about these 3 enhancements. You'll see the overall structure of the sections hasn't changed, but what has changed is the enhanced support within each section. These updates are designed to help both teachers and students gain a clearer sense of where they are in the learning progression and what is coming next. Each section now includes a clearly defined goal, a narrative that gives the learning, and a checkpoint assessment to help teachers gauge how their class is progressing towards that goal. As you wrap up each section, you'll notice that section checkpoint. This is a moment to reflect on the overarching goal of that section and assess how things are going. Checkpoint items are short, flexible, formative assessments, usually 1 to 3 questions, very similar in length to a cool-down. They can be used in a variety of ways depending on your classroom needs. This could be given as a short quiz if you wanted to after the completion of a section. Checkpoint items could be included as part of a cooldown or a practice problem set. If a cooldown indicates students need more practice on a concept and that happens, a related checkpoint item could serve as a follow-up check for that understanding. These are tools to support you, so use them in whatever way fits best for you and for your students. To support your reflection at the checkpoint includes checkpoint guidance, practical insights to help you make informed decisions before moving forward. The checkpoint guidance matches the 612 cooldown guidance, helping teachers make choices about what to do based on the results of the formative assessment. Each checkpoint begins by focusing on a key question tied directly to the section goal. For example, this one highlights guidance called Points to Emphasize. Along with this, you'll see a suggestion for the next instructional step to support students effectively. In this example, the guidance recommends elements of Lesson 18, which is an optional lesson that can reinforce these key ideas. We use this quote often when talking to teachers because it's such an important reminder. So I'll read it with you. One thing that I'm having to be okay with is students not totally getting it after a lesson. It may take a few lessons for them to get the concept, and that's okay. It's okay if students don't fully get it after just one lesson. Learning is a process, and each lesson builds on the last. The sections are designed with this in mind. They're intentional groupings of lessons that support students in developing their understanding over time. We're excited about the enhanced support of IM360, clear section goals, guiding narratives, checkpoints, and reflection questions are all meant to give teachers greater clarity, which in turn helps students feel more confident and supported in their learning journey.
Just like as in K5, the 612 materials now include teacher reflection questions, but in secondary, they appear at the section level instead of after each lesson. This is intentional since many 612 teachers have to juggle multiple preps. Each set of reflection questions is organized around 3 key themes: mathematical content and student thinking, which focuses on the math itself and how students reason through it. These questions help connect ideas across lessons and highlight how students use representations and communicate their thinking. Pedagogy, which encourages reflection on instructional choices, planning, teaching, assessing, and how we create a problem-based, community-driven classroom. Access and equity. These prompts think about how our beliefs and classroom structures impact student learning and shaping their confidence in mathematics. These questions can be used flexibly by individual teachers, professional learning communities, coaches, or leadership teams. You might focus on one theme at a time or return to them across a unit, several units, or even the whole year to support ongoing learning and growth. This slide, along with the next several slides, contains examples from the curriculum. I will be referencing features of the examples. If you'd like to read the full text, please feel free to pause the video at any time. The second major enhancement in IM360 is focused on developing a strong classroom community. To support this, we've added embedded exercises in 8 key lessons across the first 1 to 2 units, similar to what's already built into the first unit of the K5 courses. These supports are designed to help teachers foster connection and collaboration early on. Each one is flagged in the lesson narrative, giving teachers a heads up and helping tie the work to earlier lessons. You'll also find additional guidance within the lesson activities and cooldowns, right where it's most relevant. Importantly, the time needed for these prompts is already built into the pacing, so they're not extra, just intentional moments to strengthen your classroom community from the start. Building a strong math community doesn't end after Unit 2 or those initial 8 exercises. To support you in this ongoing work, every unit includes at least 2 opportunities to revisit math classroom norms, to reflect, and adjust those norms as needed. These moments are designed to help students stay connected, consider how they're working together, and continue growing a positive, collaborative environment. They also invite students to reflect on their own actions and the actions of others, with a focus on identifying and leveraging strengths in both themselves and their classmates. This slide contains an example of self-reflection. The final major enhancement in IM 360 is the expanded support for math language routines, MLRs. Just like in K5, MLRs are now embedded directly into lesson activities to support all students in developing mathematical language. When an MLR is used, it's clearly called out in the activity narrative. When an MLR appears for the first time, you'll find extra guidance in the narrative to support smooth implementation. You'll also see the familiar Access for ELLs call-out box, but the language used makes it clear that this is an embedded support for all students. In the appropriate activity field, additional guidance is provided to support implementation of the MLR. This example is from Activity 3, and the guidance is provided in the launch of the activity. Activities were adjusted to factor in the additional time the MLRs will add to the lesson activity.
Our last big story is about what's available now and what's coming soon. In addition to the 360 version of our 3-year 6-8 curriculum released last year, our 2-year accelerated 6-8 curriculum is also now available. For high school courses, the 360 versions of IM Geometry, Algebra 2, Algebra 1 Supports, and Integrated Math 1 are available now. Coming in mid-May, Integrated Math 2 and 3 will also be available in time for the 25-26 school year. If you haven't already, you can explore IM version 360 completely free with no restrictions at accessim.org. Thank you for giving us some of your time today to learn about our updated 9-12 curriculum. Speaking for Emily, Tina, and myself on the production team, we can't wait for you to see it.
Thank you so much for sharing these updates with our IM community, Ashley, Emily, and Tina. As Ashley just noted, these updates are all currently available through our accessim.org website. If you are implementing through one of our certified distribution partners, these updates have also been shared with them as well. So contact your representative for more details about accessing IM version 360 through your digital platform and/or your printed materials. And with that being said, we want to give a shout out to each of our IM certified partners: Imagine Learning, Kendall Hunt, and Kidam, who all help make it possible for schools and districts to implement IM math with the support and flexibility that they need. This webinar is one part of the IM experience, which we have designed to connect educators to webinars, podcasts, our roadshow, conferences and events, case studies, and other engaging and interactive resources. So please follow along on our landing page as we expand upon these experiences and build our bank of informative resources for you.
Also, if you haven't visited our website in a while, you may have missed a plethora of new free resources and ways to connect with us. You can download our free ebooks, view our on-demand webinars, access our IM certified blog, get free teaching resources, engage with our updated implementation reflection tool, or schedule a call with our passionate and knowledgeable client support team. We invite you to visit our website at illustrativemathematics.org.
And finally, we want to say thank you to our executive leadership team, Bill, Kristen, and Chris. Thanks to our senior leadership team as well. Both of these teams lead our organization to achieve its mission. And a special thank you to our ASL interpreter, Christine, our editorial team, our brand and communications department, and many others for their behind-the-scenes work to make these events a reality. And last but certainly not least, thank you, our IM community, for joining us for this webinar and every day as we work toward our goal of creating a world where all learners know, use, and enjoy mathematics. Lastly, your feedback is invaluable in helping us improve our future webinars. Please take a moment to complete our survey and share your thoughts on this webinar. Your input will help us tailor our content to better meet your needs. This survey will close on June 18th, 2025. And don't forget to follow us on social media and add the hashtag IMXWebinar or hashtag LearnWithIM when you share your thoughts. Thank you so much for joining us.